Hello everyone, welcome again. Without starting the time, let's start. Question number 22 we are doing till question number 21 we have already did, okay? So it is the part 4, remember it. Consider a grand ensemble of a system of one-dimensional non-interacting classical harmonic oscillators, each of frequency omega. Which one of the following equation is correct? Here this, okay, I had dot is to determine that it's a term, and for this bracket indicates ensemble average. NET represents the number of particles, energy and temperature respectively. Kb is Boltzmann constant. Okay. First of all, one-dimensional, non-interacting classical harmonic oscillators. For it, classical harmonic oscillator in one dimension, I can write the energy as kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy is what? P square by 2m. For one dimensional, it is Px square plus 2m plus potential energy half k x square if I consider it in x direction. Okay. So it now just to use law of equipartition of energy. Equipartition, sorry yaar, TITI, okay. Equipartition of energy. Using it, we know that in an energy term which is having a coordinate in a quadratic form, the energy associated with each term is half kBt. Okay, that means energy E here is half kBt plus half kBt for momentum coordinate, and here position coordinate is in quadratic form. That means it is kBt. We are given that here for n number of particles. Okay, n is here the number of particles, and we are to find average of V. That means average of V equals to what? I just need to multiply this by n. Average of n kBt. So option D is our right answer. Question number 23. In an experiment, certain quantity of an ideal gas at temperature T0, pressure P0, volume V0 is heated by a current flowing through a wire for a duration of t seconds. The volume is kept constant and the pressure changes to P1. Okay. If experiment is performed at constant pressure, starting with the same initial conditions, the volume changes from V0 to V0 to V1. The ratio of specific heats at constant pressure and constant volume is what we need to find. Ratio of specific heats at constant pressure and constant volume. That means I need to find Cp by Cv is equal to what? Okay. Certain quantity ideal gas taken, all these thing parameters are given, is heated by current flowing through a wire for a duration of t seconds. And see, here there are current is flowing, same amount of heat is given to in both the cases. Remember this thing, okay? We are flowing the current and same amount of heat we are giving. How the pressure is changing when the volume is sorry how the pressure is changing when the volume is kept constant, and how the volume is changing when the pressure is kept constant. Okay, it depends on them. If I keep volume constant, pressure changes from P0 to P1, and when I keep this thing constant pressure, then volume changes from V0 to V1. In both the cases I applied same amount of heat. So what we need to do, firstly just apply first law of thermodynamics. Okay, so dq equals to what? du plus dw. We know one this thing, okay? And then see, we are given two cases now, just study them in a different way. Firstly, we are given an ideal gas, that means PV equals to nRT. Just collect the things, the data that we are given in the question, and then apply whatever you can do. Okay, PV equals to nRT for ideal gas. Okay, on differentiating it, I can write PdV plus VdP is equal to nRdT. When volume will be constant, then VdP equals to nRdT, because dV will become 0, and when pressure will be constant, dP will become 0, and so PdV equals to nRdT. Okay, when the first of all, when the volume is constant, then I can, because let me write NCVdT plus PdV. Okay, and volume is constant, that means dV equals to 0, so PdV becomes 0. All this we have done a lot of times. Okay, so dq equals to what? NCVdT, right? So I can write it as NCVdT. Here I don't know Cv, I need to substitute Cv. Okay, because we want to find the value of Cp by Cv, so let them whatever they are. Okay, just don't disturb. dt. I need to find dt. Okay, from here I can write dt. See, for first case, when volume is constant, I am first solving for first case now. Volume is constant, that means dv equals to 0. This term becomes 0, that means vdp equals to nr dt, right? That means dt equals to what? vdp divided by nrt. Okay, so I can substitute here, and vdp divided by nr. Sorry, I differentiated t, so t will not remain obviously. Just use from here. Okay, so dt equals to vdp divided by nr, substitute here, and to n cancels out. Okay, so dq is equal to what here? dq equals to here cv is as such. Okay, n is as such, cv is as such. We just substitute the value of dt using our ideal gas equation and applying the condition of constant volume. Okay, so cv v divided by r dp. What is the change in pressure? Pressure changes to P1. Initially the pressure was P naught. So the pressure change is final minus initial, P1 minus P naught. For first case I got this. Okay, this is for first case. For second case, if I write dq equals to what here? ncp dt. Okay, so just like I did earlier, for second case I need ncp is as it is. Okay, we need to find dt. Second case, we know what we are keeping, constant pressure. Pressure equals to constant, that means dp equals to 0. Okay, so pdv equals to nr dt, that means dt equals to pdv divided by nr, pdv divided by nr, and 2 n cancels out. So dq equals to cp p divided by r. dv is the change in volume, changes from v0 to v0 to v1, that means final minus initial, v1 minus v0. As I said, current flowing to both. Okay, how these parameters are changing, that doesn't matter. We already included that in calculation. We need to just equate both the, for both the equation, the heat what we are supplying, current we are flowing to it, and so the heat dq is same in both the cases. Okay, so only using this thing you can find the correct option, or you can solve this question. Okay, so just equate both those things. R will obviously cancel out. Okay, just write cvv P1 minus P naught divided by R equals to CPP V1 minus V naught divided by R. Obviously it cancels out. Okay, here V and P also, here V and P are also not simple. I need to apply here P node and V node. Okay, because what I am doing before that, what I am keeping constant, it depends on that. Initially volume is constant, so it is not changing. Initial volume is V naught, so it would be V naught. In this case, I am solving at constant pressure. Initial pressure is P naught. So in ideal gas equation, when I am using this condition, I need to write here. Okay, so these are V naught and P naught. That means Cp divided by Cv equals to what? This thing here, this thing here. V naught divided by P naught, P1 minus P naught divided by V1 minus V naught. It is our right answer. Okay, option A is our right answer. See here, I just did this thing. It is this. Okay, you can write and apply bracket in this way. So I hope this question would be clear to you. Now let's move on to next question. Question number 24. Question number 24 is saying that a diatomic gas at room temperature. Okay, the gas is diatomic. If we are given monoatomic, diatomic, triatomic, we need to use either gamma, Cp or Cv. Okay, so here gamma equals to 7 by 5, Cp equals to 7 by 2r, Cv equals to 5 by 2r. Okay, and this is the basic thing that we already know. So a diatomic gas is at room temperature is expanded at a constant pressure P. Okay, constant pressure P, it is expanded if the heat absorbed by the gas is Q is equal to 14 joule. That means the change in heat dq is given as 14 joule. What is the maximum work in joules that can be extracted from the system? dW equals to what? Maximum work done. Okay, just apply first law of thermodynamics. Okay, dq equals to du plus dw, right? du plus p dv. Okay, now I can write it here that as this process is happening at constant pressure, So dq equals to what? ncp dt, right? Just use it here and solve. See, dq, I can solve it here only. dq is given as 14 joule. So 14 equals to n. We are doing for they are not giving us what is the value of n, so just take it 1 mole, okay, or either it would cancel out later if even you take it n and solve. Okay, so cp and cv we need to know. First of all, what is the value of cp and cv? cp equals to 7 by 2 r and cv equals to 5 by 2 r for ideal gas, diatomic gas, I mean, sorry, for diatomic gas. Okay, cp equals to 7 by 2 r for diatomic gas and cv equals to 5 by 2 r. So here I can write cp 7 by 2 7 by 2 r dt. Okay, just cancels out. 2 equals to 4, 4 equals to r dt. This implies that dt equals to 4 by r. Don't substitute the value of r at this time, just first solve as much as you can. Okay, so from here I can find what is the value of dt. Now I know that du equals to what? Du equals to ncv dt, right? cv equals to 5 by 2 r, that means it is equal to 5 by 2 r dt. What I need to do to all this? I need to use this stuff here. Okay, dq equals to for me 14, du equals to ncv dt, okay, which is equal to 5 by 2 r dt, 5 by 2 r. Now dt can be used from here, it is equal to 4 by r, 4 by r plus p dv. It is what actually I need to calculate. dw is p dv. Okay, so w maximum I need to calculate. R cancel out, it is 2, 5 2 are 10, 14 minus 10 equals to 4. That means w maximum equals to 14 minus 10, right now 14 minus 10, so w maximum is equal to 4 joule. It is our right answer. I hope it's clear to you. Just use this stuff, dq equals to ncp dt and du equals to ncv dt, and use first law of thermodynamics. Don't substitute the value of r initially because it will be cancelled out later. Okay, so no need to solve step by step, I mean no need to put the value of r here. Okay, and for diatomic I hope you would be remembering all these things. For monoatomic, gamma equals to what? 5 by 3. For diatomic, gamma equals to 7 divided by 5. So here how we write gamma for cp by cv? Gamma equals to what? cp by cv. So here cp equals to 7 by 2r and cv equals to 5 by 2r. Obviously these things are very easy and obviously you would be knowing all these things. Okay, so question number 25th. A road consists of two equal sections of length L, each with coefficient of thermal conductivity K1 and K2 respectively. It is question for 2020 just. Okay, just the previous one. A road consists of two equal sections of length L. We are given two equal sections, their length are L, each with coefficient of thermal conductivity K1 and K2. Here the coefficient of thermal conductivity are given as K1 and K2. One end of the road is kept at a fixed temperature T1, okay, other at T2, and T1 is greater than T2. Okay, T1 is greater than T2. K2 equals to 2K1. Here relation is given between K1 and K2. Then the temperature of interface is what? Temperature of interface, this thing. Okay, I need to find the temperature here. See, we know T1 is greater than T2. That means heat will obviously flow from higher temperature to lower temperature, right? In equilibrium, okay, what happens in equilibrium? d theta 1 by dt is equal to dt equals to d theta 2 by dt. That means the rate of heat transfer from this part to this or this part to this becomes equal. For solving this question or for solving such type of questions, whenever we are asked such type of question exam, you need to use this thing. Okay, the rate of heat transfer is equal, so d theta 1 by dt is equal to d theta 2 by dt. Now how would I write d theta 1 by dt and these things? Okay, so see, rate of heat transfer, rate of heat transfer, how we write it, d theta by dt, how it is depending on the parameters. I think you should write small t, otherwise you will get confused with the temperature and time. Okay, just write it small t so that you will not get confused. d theta by dt is proportional to area, directly proportional to area, inversely proportional to length, and directly proportional to the change in temperature delta T. I corrected it because we will not get confused, because same, okay, of course you understand. d theta by dt is proportional to A by L. If I remove the proportionality sign, then I will get the proportionality constant Ka by L delta T. Here what is K? K is the thermal conductivity. Just equate for both the cases and just solve and get your answer. Okay. So K1 A by L. Both are having same length, that means same area and all. Okay. Delta T. How delta T is changing? Let the final temperature be T. It is having a higher temperature, so its temperature will get reduced. It is having a lower temperature, so its temperature will get increased, and the final temperature in equilibrium will be temperature T. So T1 minus T, either I write final minus initial and consider the sign, or I can directly write higher temperature minus lower temperature. Okay, so here I can write higher T1 minus T, and here K2 A by L delta T. T is greater here, T minus T2. Okay, A by L cancels out, K1 T. Okay, K2 is given us 2K1. 2K1 T minus T2. K1 cancels out. This implies that T1 minus T is equal to 2T minus T2. 2T2. If I use it here, T1 plus T2 equals to 3T. This implies the final temperature T can be written as T1 plus 2T2 divided by 3. Okay, so it is your right answer. It is matching by option. Which option? T1. Okay, C option. So C is our right answer. In such situation, you just need to remember that the rate of heat transfer, okay, is balanced in both the cases. That's how we can solve such type of questions. Question number 26. It is saying us that consider an ideal case whose entropy is given by S equals to n by 2 sigma plus 5r ln u by n plus 2r ln v by n, where n is the number of moles, sigma is constant, r is universal gas constant, u is internal energy, and v is volume of gas. The specific heat at constant pressure is given by the specific heat at constant pressure. That means we need to determine what is the value of Cp here. Okay, we are given S is equal to this. Apply directly first law of thermodynamics. Okay, dq equals to du plus dw. Dq can be written as Tds is equal to du plus dw. From here I can write 1 by T is equal to ds by du. This implies that 1 by T equals to, we are given as, so we can easily determine ds by du, right? N by 2 as it is. Only this term is containing u. Both these are not containing u, so the differentiation will be automatically 0. So n by 2 is as such, 5r is constant, ln u by n. Differentiation gives us ln x is 1 by x, so n divided by u. And again for u, the term with it is 1 by n, that means 1 divided by n. Okay, this thing cancels out, that means 5 by 2 and r by u. It is giving us that u equals to 5 by 2 and r t. We know that Cv equals to what? Du by dt. That means it is equal to 5 by 2 and r. But we need to calculate the value of Cp. From Mayer's relation, we know Cp minus Cv equals to r. That means Cv equals to Cv plus r. That means 5 by 2 and r. And obviously for it would be an r. Okay, 7 by 2 and r. Okay, so answer would be B. So almost all the numericals I have solved for chest, which are asked from 2012 to 2020. Not all, okay, I am saying almost all the questions I have solved, whatever I could to my maximum. So I hope these videos will be beneficial for you, will help you in covering most of the questions, and will solve your concepts also somehow. Okay, so I hope it would be helpful. Just keep studying. Today finally I am saying that thermodynamics is over now. After so many days I can say this thing, and feeling nice to say this thing. Okay, so we have covered two papers. First paper was nuclear, and then second paper is thermo. In both the papers I first taught you theory, then I solved numericals for net, gate, jest and all. Okay, I hope these videos are benefiting you. Thank you. Your exams are very near, maybe because we don't know when will exam be conducted due to this corona pandemic. Okay, so just focus on your study. Don't focus on this thing that when will be exam held, or don't distract your study because of the exam date. Okay, just keep focusing, just keep learning, enjoy the learning. Okay, so study hard, study smart. Bye bye, take care.